Well, good morning. I just went to get me another cup of coffee. It's really early in the morning, so I'd like for you to get you a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and let's just have a little visit this morning. Let's just sit a while and take a deep breath, because I'm tired. I don't know about you all. I'm tired of cooking. I'm tired of celebrating. I'm tired of getting cleaned up. But for me, Christmas time is a time of extreme. Mainly, it's celebrating the birth of Christ, but I always take it to the next level. Cooking lots of rich food, buying gifts, doing for others. But then in January, we try to reel it back in, and we do what we call as Frugal January. We've done this for many, many years, and it kind of brings us back down to a normal level. Each year, excuse me, we take inventory of what we have in our kitchen cabinets or our freezers. We look at our budget at the beginning of the year, and we just try to get things organized and cleaned out things. And another thing we do in the month of January, which isn't earth-shattering, but for us it's a challenge, we put a $50 bill in an envelope. As far as groceries go, this is all we can spend in the month of January. And we use this for perishable items like milk and things like that. Or if we decide to go out and eat, it comes out of this $50. And when it's gone, it's gone. Now, I know one year in January, some of my friends were going out for a pizza special at lunch. Well, the only way I could go was to dip into our $50. And it took a good chunk out of it for the year. So I will always remember that, to think before I do something. Now, as far as going through your cabinets and things, sometimes we get things pushed way back and we don't use them. If we have more than we need, of course, first check the expiration date. But if you have more, especially for what our country's going through right now, share it with others. There are several food banks where you can take canned goods or other items and to donate. So more than many years, it's really important to share this year. But our January, it's not a ho-hum. It's fun for us. It's a challenge to do. So let's just sit and have a visit, as my granddaughter used to always call it. I've got my coffee here, and I'm going to show you some ways that you might save some money or just have fun with it. You know, my mom and dad were Depression era people, and so they knew how to pinch a penny. And Mom would always say, call me frugal, but don't ever call me cheap. And so it made me look up the definitions of frugal and cheap. And basically, being frugal is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's where you live simply and economically, you're generous, you share with others, and you know the value of things. Whereas being cheap is a negative word. Usually you're just thinking of self when you're cheap, and you're only driven by money. And one thing that I always remember my mom doing, this is a butter wrapper that sticks of butter come wrapped in. And every time my mom would open margarine or butter, she would take a knife and she would always scrape the little last bit of butter or margarine off of there and add it to the stick of butter. Now, did this make her rich? No, but it sure made an effect on me. And every time I opened butter, I think of my mom. So during the Depression era, there was a saying that went, use it up, wear it out, make do, or do without. And one thing that always comes to my mind is my hubby's grandmother got TP'd one night when she was older. Well, being from the Depression era, the next morning she got up and got her a stick and she just started winding that toilet paper around that stick, and she used it. She made good. Now, is that cheap or frugal? I would call that frugal. Alrighty, this morning I have just a few ways that you might save a little bit of money or just have fun doing it. The first thing that I want to show you is we all use these dryer sheets in our dryer. But did you know if you cut these dryer sheets in half, you'll get the same softness, the same anti-static. So that can save you a little bit of money. And a good family friend of ours by the name of Connie, in fact, Connie probably saved our son-in-law from starving to death while he was in college because she would cook meals for him. She's a great cook. But she shared with me a way to save that she uses. These are just those plastic, they use them in beauty shops, they use them in restaurants, but you can order these in bulk very cheaply. And if you have leftovers, you can just put this over the bowl and set it in the refrigerator. Also, I use this when I'm making bread. I put it in the bowl and I put this over the top of it to keep the dough from drying out. So you might try that as a little money-saving thing. Another thing is, right after my husband and I got married, we went to some friends, high school friends' house for a meal. And after the meal, our friend Lorraine got up from the table and we started clearing the dishes. Well, she went over to the sink and started making her dishwater. And when she did, she poured about 2 capfuls of bleach in the dishwater. I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. And I thought, well, we'll be dead by morning, surely. But you know, we weren't. And it's a good way to sanitize, a very economical way to sanitize. And you can keep bleach, especially now during this pandemic. We want to do everything we can to sanitize. So this is another economical way. And then back to my friend Connie. I've done this for several years, but I had forgot about it. And she reminded me that you can take a Parmesan Lid after you finish with the cheese. You can take it off, save the lid, and it will fit on a small mouth canning jar. It's really good for storing things, and it has this wide opening too that you can take out, or it has an opening that you can just sprinkle. So these are just a few, they're not earth-shattering things, but just a few things that you can do to save a little money and be frugal. So now it's your turn. What I would like for you to do is to post some frugal or time-saving ways that you use. If you'll take time to post your frugal ways or your money-saving ways, I would really appreciate it, and I'm sure all the viewers would too. So please post it, share it, and subscribe. And on this New Year's Eve, I wish you all a very happy New Year, and I'm glad to kick 2020 to the curb. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.